Mason, we just heard you making fun of Jarrett because he was 0 for 3, but the rest of you seem to shoot pretty well tonight. What's it like? I mean, obviously you did a lot of your work in the second half, but when you guys are just shooting that well, even to start the game, does it just keep firing them up?
Yeah, I think making shots early probably gives us confidence, and obviously we don't want to rely on making shots because it's not going to be that easy every night, and shots aren't always going to fall. So obviously we want to fall back on our defense. But yeah, like tonight, obviously they were falling, so that helped.
What's it like in a situation where you're watching JD and David go off like that in the first half, where it looked like they were shooting into a hula hoop?
Yeah, I think it definitely gives you a little confidence, and you just want to get in on the action a little bit. So I think I speak for everyone when I say that. But yeah, it was fun to watch those dudes in the first half, especially, and I think they both played really well and played with spirit.
First half of the season, your 3-point shooting as a team struggled. I'm sure you knew it was going to come around, but this is the second time in 4 or 5 games you've made 16 threes. What's been the difference?
Is this for me too, or do you want Jared to do
Either
action? Or what?
Does he get to answer? He didn't make one.
Oh man. Yeah, I think obviously like I said, you can't always rely on making shots, but I think water kind of finds its level. And so, when you have good shooters on your team, it's kind of only a matter of time, and that just comes with generating good shots too. And that obviously comes with time together and getting more comfortable on offense together.
Jared, coach. Go ahead, JT.
All right, I appreciate you, Justin. All right, Jared, I'm not gonna take a jab at you, man, just like Chad did, but you got to get your feet wet tonight. How'd it feel just to be able to support this team after a game where you didn't hit threes, but everybody's talking about the 16.
It felt really good. I just tried to go in there and make plays. I think coach really challenged me to use my athletic ability and just my all-around intangibles to go out there and make plays on the defensive end and offensive end. So I felt good. So yeah.
Jared, coach talked after, I think, the ECU game about, wanting you to be more aggressive and not be afraid to make mistakes, kind of what you just mentioned. What is it like that you have a coach? Obviously, you played for him last year, him, but to have a coach to kind of encourage you to be more aggressive and be okay making those mistakes as a young player?
Right. It's just really it's just really good. I mean, it feels like he's always telling me that he's believing in me, and he's always with me, good or bad. So it feels really well. So it just helps me to just keep working on my game and keep being confident every time I step on the court. So.
Jared, you had 2 blocks tonight. You were really active on the defensive end. Was that just something that you were thinking going into this game? Victor Locken's out. I need to really up my energy in a big opportunity.
Yeah, just try to give my team, obviously Vic is a really good player, and John. So just try to give my team a lift defensively and just try to make plays on the ball, deflections, blocks, charges, and just play hard. Coach Miller loves people who plays hard. So just try to go out there and play my hardest.
Hey, Jared, you mentioned that athletic ability. We saw you had 6 rebounds off the bench tonight. Could you kind of go off of how you as a player compliment with Odia off the bench, how he had 7 rebounds? Could you just talk about how you guys complimented each other tonight?
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I think we just feed off each other. O is a really, really good energy guy. And I always feed off him.
He's a battery, bro.
Yeah, he's a battery, bro. But he feeds off me too. So I think we have a really good relationship off the court. So on the court, I think we have a really good trust, and we kind of know what we have to bring to the table, and it's just like energy and play hard and go out there and make plays for real.
Jared, being with coach at UNCG last year, you've seen what an experienced veteran Wes Miller team looks like. How close is this team getting to where he thinks you guys want to be?
It's kind of tough to make comparisons, kind of like last year and this year. I think we're really good. I think we also have to come in and work every day like every other team. But I think we have really good pieces, and I think we all like each other, which is really good. So I'm confident that we can become a championship team, which feels really good coming in every day and just working with these guys and coaching staff for sure.
Mason, as a shooter, what's your theory? Like, do you have to get to a couple that you make where you feel like every time I get done, I'm firing it up, or is it not a hard number or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I think I feel like even I've had my struggles this year, and obviously getting comfortable is something I've been trying to do. And so, yeah, I think, it always helps when you see the first one go through. But you don't always want to rely on that because, no one ever tries to miss a shot, and sometimes you do. So I think, yeah, it definitely helps to see the first one go through and then build on that.
Mason, you had the hip injury earlier. How much is that getting back to 100%, and how much does that impact how you're able to play?
Yeah, obviously playing through any injury is hard. So I think the healthier I got over the past month or so, I think it definitely helps and just gives you more confidence to come in every day and kind of do everything that I'm able to do, because there was a time where I felt like I was kind of holding back a little because I couldn't do everything that I wanted to do. And so, yeah, I think just getting healthy kind of gives me that confidence.
Mason, you guys are 5-0 in your career when you make 3 or more threes in a game. Do you feel like when you're feeling hot that you can be kind of the nail in the coffin for your team in terms of the opponent?
I think that it helps when everyone makes shots. I think that's for sure. And so I think I'm just another piece to that. So yeah, obviously more points on the board probably leads to more wins. But it's a good stat. I like that you throw that out there. It makes me feel good. I just want to say too that Jared owes me dinner tonight because he told me if I made 3 threes before the game, I'm just gonna buy me dinner. So.
Happily, man. Happily.
Whenever you're ready, opening statement.
Okay, sorry for making you guys wait, but no, listen, you win a league game by 20 points. You're going to feel good about that, and I think the guys should feel good about that. I thought we had a great energy to start the game on both ends. I loved our defensive focus early in the game. I thought like it was like all 5 guys connected. We were active, and we talk a lot about the type of defensive team that we want to be every possession. And I thought we started the game with that type of intent. Offensively, I thought we were super aggressive. When you're playing, against Tulsa, you're going to face multiple defenses and changing defenses. And sometimes that can really frustrate you and make you passive. And I thought instead of being worried about what they were doing, I thought we did a nice job of just attacking and playing. And David and Jeremiah just really got us off to a good start by being aggressive, shooting the basketball and making plays. And I didn't like that we weren't on the board there the first 4 or 5 minutes, but then I thought Hayden kept a couple balls alive, and we did a pretty nice job on the offensive board to get us going. So listen, going to be pleased with the win. I'm worried about John Newman. I don't think we know what's going on yet, but couldn't come back in the game. So obviously worried about him, but I'm going to choose to think positively because he's such an important part to our team. But when a guy goes down, it's good to see other guys step up. And I thought Jared Hensley and Mason Madsen did a terrific job of stepping up in his stead. So anyway, it's a good step in the right direction to win a league game at home like that. And I hope the guys get excited now to build upon it and keep working, because I think the work that we've been putting in practice day after day gives you opportunities to have nights like this. And certainly we had a night shooting the basketball.
Questions? Coach, I know you said you don't know the full extent. Do you know any other details on John, what the injury is or anything?
I don't, Justin. I know it's his knee, and he had surgery on that knee not last season, but he hurt that knee in the ACC tournament his sophomore season, and then I think he got it scoped. It was a meniscus. And so I know it's the same knee, but what the injury is, I don't think we know yet. And hopefully we'll know more here in the next 24 hours.
When you're shooting it that well from 3, I think you were 9 of 15 in the first half. Are you a coach who's just like keep firing them up and until that percentage comes down?
I'm a coach that just wants a good shot on every possession and wants the backboards to be covered and wants us to have some defensive balance and transition. I never think too much about are we making them, are we miss them. It's just more like, let's just execute to get a great shot. Let's cover the board, so we're in position to get it if we miss it. And, I think I have a lot of confidence and trust in our players. And some nights it's not going to go in, and hopefully we can still win those games because of who we are defensively. And some nights you step up and you knock 16. Some nights you make 16, and you better be good enough defensively to win when you make 16 threes.
You had 19 turnovers at the season high, so a little floppier than normal, but obviously it seemed like the energy was still good. Is that a trade you're willing to make?
I don't want to turn it over 19 times. But I do think when some of the things we were trying to do offensively to attack their changing defenses, we sacrificed a little structure for some attack early in possessions. And when you do that, you're going to turn it over a little bit more. I don't know if I wanted to turn it over 19 times, and a couple of them were really careless. But again, the more you attack early, the more you open the floor up early in possessions, the more you're going to turn the ball over. And that's something we did talk about as a staff going into this game.
Mason, with a chance to get going there, especially in the second half, how close to being back to 100% is he from the hip, and how much can you see that in his game?
Physically, you'd have to ask him. What I can tell you is that he's been competing hard in every practice. I've seen him really working to improve. It's some things defensively in practice, because that's the thing that I've been harping on with him since day one. Is listen, he's an offensive threat and he shoots the heck out of it, and among some other really good attributes offensively. But we do need him to defend better than he was defending early. And he's worked really hard at that. And that's all you want as a coach. You point out some of the things you think that need to improve, and you want a young man that comes in and approaches it the right way every day, which he has. And what's been neat is he's been working steadily at trying to be great defensively in practice since he's come back off the injury, and he's been able to do it every single day. And so it's nice for him to get some results. And I thought he had some really nice defensive possessions tonight. He got a couple big deflections that started fast breaks and got his points in the open floor. So I don't think Mason's a bad defender, never have, but I think he's got the ability, because he's got great athleticism and feet, to be a plus defender, to be a guy that really gives us something defensively when he checks in the game. And I thought he did that at times tonight.
Wes, it's a little bit of a slower period for you guys in the league schedule right now. Do you kind of wish you could bottle some of this up from tonight? And what do you actually do to try to carry a performance like this over to next week?
Yeah, I let you guys talk about all that kind of stuff, and I don't think like that. Listen, we gave them tomorrow off. We'll be working as a staff, maybe out recruiting. And then Saturday we're going to come in and try to get better. And I really do. It sounds like coach talk or cliche. I really do try to take it just one day at a time and controlling that day and how much we can improve and grow. And that's how we'll approach it. I don't believe in, I tell the guys all the time, like the heat check thing, I think it's the stupidest thing in the history of basketball, a heat check. Like you make 3 in a row and then you come down and take a terrible shot because you got to check to see if you're hot. I always felt I was going to make every shot I took. I didn't need a heat check. I was always hot, and so the same thing with you're playing great, you're riding. There's no riding waves. Great teams play the right way, they work the right way, and they play to the same standard every night. And that's what I'm concerned with, not riding some type of wave. I don't think this is some kind of hot streak or wave. I just think our guys worked really hard, and I think they're finding some good results because of it, and hopefully we keep doing that.
Coach, speak.
You gave up 15 offensive rebounds, but you only gave up 4 second chance points. So while you're probably not happy with the first one, you got to be happy with how they fought when they did let.
Yeah, you guys know, I've talked about this in every press conference. I feel like all season, I want us to be better at getting the ball off the board on both ends. And our defensive rebounding and our transition defense has really frustrated me all year. And there was a lot of possessions tonight I was frustrated with it. But I thought our effort to just kind of play the next play when something poor happens, I think that's been significantly improved over the last couple games. It was great against Wichita, maybe the best it's been all year. And then, as you mentioned, hey, you get up an offensive rebound. Everybody that's in our locker room knows that's not a good thing. But I thought we did a nice job of continuing to play the possession after we did and making them take tough shots.
One more question.
Coach, David DeJulius has really been working that step back 3-point jumper over the last few games. How much of an emphasis does he put on that in individual practice? And is there any key, do you think there's been there with that shot going down, or is it just of hitting the pavement and working hard on it?
You know, he's been terrific. He's just been terrific. He takes on some of the most difficult defensive assignments, and there are great guards in this league, and he takes on the most difficult guard assignment when he's in the game every night. And then offensively, we just ask for so much for him to create offense for our team. When it comes to his shooting or his step back, he's just so elite at creating space. You know, he's like very quick twitch and difficult to keep in front, but he can really create space to get a shot. And the difficult part of guarding him is he does a good job of doing that, whether it's behind the 3 or 2. And then if you leave your feet, he's good at drawing fouls and getting guys in the air. And you see that more in the NBA, but he's kind of got that type of game. You know, I've never been a big fan of that shot, right? Because you're not breaking the defense down. You know, you're not in great position to offensive rebound. But I've always felt like you allow really good offensive players to play in their comfort zone and to play with freedom. And, you know, that is a shot he's very comfortable with and a shot that's very natural for him. So for him, we let him shoot it, and I think he shot a pretty good clip at it this year, and he's gotten fouled doing it a lot as well.